In what way does your media product use, develop and challenge forms and conventions of real media products?
These shots demonstrate how we have followed conventions of short films, especially the genre of anthropomorphic, as we have used many point of view shots and shots that allow you to empathise with the bed.
We developed our film from the starting point of Jessie Ruston's car. Although this was our starting point, we used our own ideas to develop our storyline. This allowed to follow conventions of short films which we have studied.
A convention of real media products that we have followed is the running time of our short film, as it is no longer than 6 minutes. How effective is the combination of your main product and ancillary text?
We created a radio trailer and magazine review alongside our short film. To make sure that these ancillary texts worked along with our short film, we used the same soundtrack for the film and radio trailer. For example, the piano track that Curtis Day composed for us is also layered on our radio trailer. The diegetic sound was also important for the trailer and film, with them both having the same ambient sounds. We downloaded the sound of a small truck moving slowly to a halt. This was to make a connection between both the film and radio trailer.
Promoting films on the radio is not an easy task, especially for us as our film has no dialogue within it. Although it was a challenge having a radio trailer in the perfect way to target a wide audience, as the radio is always on and people would listen to it without even realising.
Bedhead, a bed with a head and a heart. Being someone like me, you never know how long you're going to be in one place. You move from room to room, house to house, and have person after person with you. People underestimate how tough and tiring my life is. Although it's not all that bad being me, you do always have company. Bedhead, a bed with a head and a heart, coming soon to Brief Encounters Film Festivals, Bristol.
The audience for short film as a genre is fragmented and niche, so when we had to create the advertisements of a magazine review and radio trailer, we had to make sure we were targeting the correct audience. We followed the conventions of both magazine reviews and radio trailers by researching via the internet and magazines as to which type of voiceovers, fonts, sound effects we should use.
Both our magazine review and the radio trailer worked well as an advertising campaign, and we feel that we have marketed it successfully to our target audience.
What have you learned from your audience feedback? Does anyone have any questions?
Start them off, guys.
Was it obvious that the film was from the bed's point of view?
Thank you, Nick. That was a yes from Nick.
Do you think there's any way that we could have made it more obvious? No?
From a previous film, you could take an example of the £5 note and actually have the headboard feeling sad and sorry about different parts of its life when it changes.
After extensive research after the screening, we decided as a group that we weren't going to add a voiceover to our film, as we wanted to challenge the conventions of short film and leave it to our audience to decide what gender the bed was, what it was feeling, because different age ranges, people, social classes would class our bed as a different person, and we wanted to leave it to the audience to make that decision for themselves.
Do you think the music works in conjunction with the film?
Yeah, I particularly like the music, particularly the piano piece. I was wondering whether you actually had somebody playing the music as they were watching the film.
Yeah, we had a guy compose it for us from the music department at college. So he actually composed the whole piece for us.
Really?
Yeah.
You can definitely see that because there's this interaction between the music and the film.
Yeah, we gave him the film and he made the music to fit with the film, so to show the different emotions of the bed as it goes through its different parts.
I thought that was very effective, and I was just wondering how many headboards you got through in the making of this production.
It's actually only one. We just filmed it in the right amount of, like, the different days we filmed it filmed the wrong way round, so that the black bit was at the end, basically.
After the screening, we were really pleased to hear that it hadn't gone unnoticed that we got our own music composed for our short film. During the production stages, we assessed our options about how we were going to get our music, whether we were going to get it composed and we decided in the end that we were definitely going to get it composed. As then it suited our needs and we could get it just how we wanted it. We met up with Curtis Day, the guy who composed it for us, and he understood what we needed, and he got back to us and it was perfect. So,
do you think there's anything we could change, like, for example, shots or maybe the music or anything in general?
I really enjoyed the film, but I thought to kind of stress the idea of over a time period, maybe that you could have kind of done like a static shot of the bed and then like how it changes over different days, like quite quick flashing shots of the time period, like how they do in different films sometimes. But yeah, it was good. So.
When we had finished editing our film for the screening, we did pick up on the fact that our film needed to portray the feeling of time passing. We decided we would do this with multiple shots of the bed with different sheets. However, due to scheduling complications, this couldn't happen.
And did you feel emotion towards the bed and towards its owners? Because that was the idea, was that you get emotionally attached to an inanimate object.
Hello, can I say I enjoyed your film, and very much so the emotion that came across her with her losing her husband, I presume it was really moving. So I thoroughly enjoyed it.
When we had finished the screening, we were very happy with all of the comments that we received, as it is clear that our film has portrayed the emotion that we had intended it to.
How did you use media technologies in the construction and research, planning and evaluation stages? What technologies did you use in the construction stages?
During the filming for our short film, we used a DVX camera. This enabled us to change the iris and depth of field for each shot. As this particular shot is bright, we used a zebra feature to show us how overexposed this shot was, so that we could correct it before we filmed. This particular type of technology really helped us with making the quality of our film much better.
During the editing stages of our production, we used Final Cut. This is a program which enables you to edit clips, add in sound, text, etc. For this particular part of our film, we had to cut and fade a series of clips to create the effect of time passing. This demonstrates some of the skills learnt during our time using Final Cut.
What technologies did you use in research stages? During the research stages for our short film, we used blogs to document our progress. Initially, the sites were fairly difficult to use, but once we got our heads around it, we were all blogging and documenting our progress. We added pages to our blog to show each of the different things that we had created for our coursework, including our short film, radio trailer, and magazine review.
To help us when we were researching for our short film, radio trailer and magazine review, we used the internet a lot, and one of the sites that we used the most was YouTube. Because it is a global site, it meant that everyone around the world could view what we were creating. Therefore, we got a wider audience range. Having the access to sites such as these made us think more about our audience and how we should target them.
What technologies did you use in the planning stages?
Go Animate during the planning stages to present our work onto the blog. This programme worked very well to give an interactive view on our blog. Each member of the group used the site in different ways but still managed to gain some understanding of how it could be used during the planning stages.
Wordle is a program that we use to create mind maps throughout our planning stages. These mind maps helped us to guide us through our work, as we were able to see which part of the document was important. If we were to create this project over again, Wordle is a site that we all agree we would use, as it was very helpful when planning. In the evaluation stages.
For the evaluation, we used all of the previous technologies that you have seen. Each of these individual technologies helped us to create our 4-question evaluation. For example, we used Final Cut on all 4 of the questions and to put it into one whole loop at the end, the internet to research how to answer the questions appropriately, and a smaller video camera to record our voiceover.